All right, so NMAP, where NetSparker is for web services only. NMAP is for operating systems only. And it's pretty much so straightforward. 192.168.203.1 through, minus sign, through 254. All right? Through 254. So we want to scan that entire IP address range 1 through 254. All right, so pretty straightforward. What it will do is it will give you the NMAP command down here, so you can kind of remember it if you want. There's different kinds of scans you can do, right? An intent scan is one that throws everything in the kitchen sink and the pony at the operating system that you've got, right? It literally goes through and looks for every honking thing, right? But what's the problem with this room? ICMP, right? We don't allow ICMP in or out of this room. So anything that may drop ICMP may be a problem. So we can look at just UDP ports. What is UDP? Universal. Yeah, and then intent scanned all TCP ports, right? So we're just looking for TCP ports. On a company that you do not know if ICMP is working or not, if you do no ping, it will do a half-open TCP query to a common port, like 445, right, a Windows port, to see if it's alive or not. It will try a common port on Linux, it will try a common port on Windows to try to fingerprint what kind of operating system it is. Right? So in a company or in a room like this one that has no ping involved, an intent scan no ping will identify more systems than the regular intent scan. But remember, an intent scan is like putting a blowtorch up on the network, right? It's like putting a 100,000 watt radio transmitter next to your house and drowning out all the television stations next to you. It shows up really, really fast. So if you do a quick scan, right, it won't show up as much. You want to drive by low and slow on these scans. Otherwise, you really do look like a blowtorch on the network. Everyone's going to know that there's a problem in network engineering and in the security department. So if you do what's called low and slow, right, no pinging, quick scan, no hurry, or a slow comprehensive scan, your scan times are increased hugely, but you don't stand out on the network like a sore thumb. So you kind of got to think about what you've done and where you want to go with this. Do you want to stand out like a sore thumb and get picked off really quickly by the security or network department? Or do you want to ride low and slow and try to get as much information as you can? Right? So if we do a slow comprehensive, right, and then we just click on scan, what ends up happening is we end up with this beautiful long command line that I do not expect you to remember off the top of your head. Right? You don't need to remember this today. Tomorrow, maybe. Maybe. All right? So it's going to do a trace. Source must be up from IP, right? And then there's our range. And then this will take a while to go, right? If you just want to get it over with, and you just want to do it, and you want to do it now, an intent scan in this classroom is going to be perfectly fine, right? And what that does then, it goes through and finds all the open ports that it can find. Now here's the trick. If you scan your own box, right, if you scan your own box, it's going to show every single port and service open and available to you, because your box will respond on everything because you're sending it out. Your box will say, yeah, I got that, yeah, I got that, yeah, I got that. So your box is going to have a lot of false positives, right? So your scanning box is going to look like it's completely wide open to everything else, but it's not really, right? It's going to look like everything else is on the network. And it basically just goes ahead and runs its thing, runs its complete scan, right? Different kinds. It runs a discovered open port scan. Then it runs a SYN stealth scan, so basically a half-open scan. It says, here, are you here, or do you listen on this port? And the computer will say yes, and then my computer never answers back, right? Because TCP is what? A three-way handshake. Hi, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready for you. And then, okay, I'm going to send you data now, right? That half-open scan says, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Do you want to talk to me? Hello? Bueller? Bueller? Right? Honestly. Those half-open scans can be pretty neat when it comes down to what your computer is going to respond to and do, right? And then it will go out and actually find more open ports as you kind of go through this, right? If you want to see what kind of services are being run, you can see that. You can see what kind of ports, the topology of the network, any kind of fun details on this, and all the rest of it. But it takes a minute to get all this stuff done. When you're doing an intense scan like this, it can take like upwards of 10, 15, 20 minutes to do this. All right? Because we have so many boxes on the network right now. But that's really all it is to NMAP. NMAP operating systems, NetSparker, web services. A lot of the scanners now are separated by what they actually do. Does it kind of make sense? Any questions? Anything at all? All right, so NetSparker, the Drupal box, the WordPress box, run NMAP scans today. Find out what's going on inside this classroom. Can you identify what the other students are running and if they've left any vulnerabilities for you? Try not to take out the instructor box today, okay? We just got it rebuilt. All right, and that's it. No questions at all? You guys are comfy with this? I said, please don't take out the instructor box because we just got it rebuilt so I could record videos. So don't attack the instructor box. Well, yeah, because I've got to share it with other people. Don't be evil. All right, any other questions? You guys good? All right, that's it then.